Okay, this is the final video in our What You Should Know About Crawlspace Encapsulation as a Homeowner Before Investing in Your Crawlspace. And today I want to talk to you about what makes Crawlspace Ninja different from our competitors, okay? So there's quite a few things out there. I'm going to go over probably our top 3 or 4 that makes Crawlspace Ninja different. Stay tuned. If you're new to Crawlspace Ninja, we talk about everything related to crawlspace encapsulation, waterproofing, indoor air quality. We hope you'll subscribe to our channel. Ring that notifications bell if you're an entrepreneur and you want to get involved with Crawlspace Ninja. We got a link down below to our franchise page as well as our DIY store if you want to do it yourself, or if you need an assessment, we got a link down below as well. Okay, so we have come up with probably 3 or 4 main reasons why Crawlspace Ninja is different than our competition. Now, most of you know that when we encapsulate a crawl space, we also ventilate the crawl space. That's probably the number one thing that got everybody's attention. When we first got started, everybody was sealing all of the vents of the crawl space and they were just putting in a dehumidifier. Well, we learned that by doing that, according to the EPA, there is a probability of soil gases getting built up inside of the crawl space. So if you're going to encapsulate the crawl space, and soil gases could be radon, methane, odors from organic materials down there, whatever it is, we want to make sure that those soil gas, odors, and other issues don't go into the living space. So according to the EPA, you should do 1 CFM of air for every 50 square feet of crawl space. So whenever we encapsulate a crawl space, we seal all of the vents but one, and then put a foundation vent fan blowing out of the crawl space so that it draws that air outside. Okay, now of course I've done videos about where does the makeup air come from. I'll put a link down to that below. I'm not going to explain that in this video. The other thing you want to make sure you do is you want to insulate the crawl space, and a lot of our competition does not know anything about proper insulation of the crawl space. They'll go even as far as to tell you that, you know, the vapor barrier is an insulator and you don't need to insulate. Well, that's not true. According to code, you should insulate the foundation walls if you're going to seal the crawl space. You can also insulate the subfloor on a sealed crawl space, but I don't like subfloor insulation unless there's nothing wrong with it. You can leave it in place. But normally when we come out, you've got, you know, water and humidity built up in that insulation. You got mold all over the place. So we take that out, dispose of it, and then we insulate the foundation wall. That way we're creating a thermal break at the foundation to the outside versus letting that cold come into the crawl space. The third thing that we do differently is mold. Oh my goodness, we use some processes that are unheard of in our industry, very safe and green processes, very environmentally friendly, safe for the environment. Number 1, we use sodium bicarbonate, which is our soda blasting technology, to remove or strip the mold off of all the subfloor and joists. If you don't know what sodium bicarbonate is, it's a food grade. It's approved by the FDA to use in different things and stuff like that. I did a blog, and I'll put that down below if you want to learn about sodium bicarbonate. But what it does is it's, you know, the Arm & Hammer baking soda you used to stick in your refrigerator to deodorize the refrigerator, or you got baking soda in your toothpaste or different things like that. Very green product. We use that to strip off the mold. Then our Anabec cleaner is a peroxide-based cleaner that we use to penetrate into the wood and kill the root systems. And if you know anything about peroxide, it's very green technology. It off-gases humidity and oxygen versus some of the other products that are EPA registered where they have to be controlled because they're pesticides. And then finally, we use the Anabec X70, which is a silver nanotechnology. It's a penetrant that protects the wood from the inside out. Silver, again, is another natural way to address fungus and molds and different things like that. So, you know, when you're using baking soda, peroxide, and silver to address mold, it's some of the safest and greenest ways to address mold. Probably the last thing that we do that is different than anybody else is whenever we install a water management system, we encourage you to also encapsulate the crawl space with a good vapor barrier that goes up the walls, mechanically attached to the walls, because even if you have a waterproofing system around the inside perimeter of the crawl space with a sump pump, if you have a loose laid vapor barrier down, that water is going to shift that vapor barrier, get on top of the plastic, and then it can't make its way into the water management system. You would never waterproof the basement and not pour the slab back. Well, the plastic is the same thing. You want to waterproof or water manage the crawl space and then overlap and tape all the vapor barrier properly to code. We actually go beyond code and do a 12-inch overlap and seam tape together. Use a really good adhesive tape to keep those joints together. Bring it up the pillars and the walls, and make sure you mechanically attach all that so it can't shift and move if you take on a flood or standing water. So those are just 4 of the ways that we set ourselves apart from the competition. We hope whenever you're looking at encapsulating your crawl space that you'll consider Crawlspace Ninja. We got a link down below if you'd like an in-home assessment. I'm Michael Church, Crawlspace Ninja. We hope you make it a happy and blessed day. We'll see you later.